G'day. The Australian Government is pleased to participate in Earth Hour 2009. Earth Hour is a great homegrown Australian initiative. It began just 2 years ago, but it's already a worldwide movement with more than 1,000 cities participating this year. Its message is simply this: climate change is a challenge for all of us, and we all need to put our shoulder to the wheel to tackle this immense challenge. That message is absolutely vital this year as the nations of the world work together ahead of the Copenhagen summit later in the year. It's crucial that we reach a deal on cutting greenhouse gas emissions. This is not only an environmental challenge, it's also a massive economic challenge, a political challenge, and one of the greatest moral challenges of our age. Every country must play its part. Developed countries must take the lead, but developing countries must be a part of the solution as well. Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, we have all been on a carbon-heavy path of economic development, and that must change. We must transition to a lower carbon path. We must be able to grow our economies while reducing carbon pollution. That will require international cooperation on a level we've never seen before to reduce emissions, to share technologies, and to support those nations who can't make this transition by themselves. Australia is making its contribution internationally and at home. We've committed to reduce our emissions by between 5 and 15% by 2020 compared to 2000 levels. That's a reduction of between 34 and 41% per head of population. And by 2050, emissions will be down by 60%. That's our ambition, that's our goal. In recent days, the government has released the draft legislation for a carbon pollution reduction scheme to achieve these targets. That scheme will, for the first time, put a cost on carbon pollution and create the incentives to reduce emissions, starting from next year. We've also committed to generating 20% of our electricity supply from renewable sources by 2020. That means the equivalent of all current household electricity consumption is sourced from renewables. Earlier this year, the government announced a $42 billion nation-building and jobs plan to help support jobs and growth in the face of the worst global economic recession since the 1930s. A core part of this plan is the largest investment in energy efficiency in this nation's history, which will pay for insulation or solar hot water for 2.2 million Australian homes. The Australian government is taking action globally and at home, and all Australians can show their commitment to action on climate change as well by participating in Earth Hour 2009. Thank you.